Hello, Brick Sculptors, and welcome back to Brick Sculpt. This is Chris, and today I decided to try a project. Now, a while ago I made this school bus. I did a video on it over a year ago. It's been in my city since, but I thought I wanted to change it. I wanted to make it a little bigger. I want to change the windows. I don't love the window design on it, and I wanted to kind of upgrade it a little bit. Now, this sent me down a rabbit hole because initially I thought I should use this window. It'd be a little bit bigger. I don't really like the blue, but this window has a few problems. Check this out. So one approach to using this would be just to line these windows up. And that looks terrible. It looks like an aquarium, not the side of a school bus. So that didn't work. So we went on to plan B here, which looked like this. So I figured, what if I just simply put a pillar in between each window? Like that. We can top it off. And that also looks terrible. The pillars are too big. They make the windows look too small. And you're not going to have a lot of windows on the side of your bus. So then I thought, okay, maybe we should snot it. So I tried that. Sorry, this piece isn't yellow. I don't own it in yellow. But I thought maybe we could do these sideways and put a plate in between. I kind of figured one plate would be the right width for that pillar in between. And we could also cap this off. And I don't love that either. I thought that might work okay for this, and we'll see, I might still use this, but it just isn't right. I don't like the shape of the windows. See, the windows need to be more in this orientation, proportion-wise, where it's a little bit taller than it is wide, than this orientation, where it's wider than it is tall. So, wasn't super happy with that either, and that's where I got really sucked into this, because you see, what I thought would work best would be this. If our windows had a plate's width, but this way. And I thought, how hard could that be, right? Well, it turns out it can be pretty hard. Let me show you. So I figured this is about the perfect profile, and I'm sorry I can't really pick this up, so I know the view's not great, but I thought that would make the perfect profile. But how's this going to work? Because when you put these plates in here, these studs will no longer line up with a consecutive string of studs. So I wanted to kind of figure out if I could do it. And in doing that, I kind of got off of this project because what I built is going to be far too big for this school bus, but I do think would make a very cool school bus. Let me show you my technique here. So the first thing I had to do was attach these to the windows. And they need to be in between, and they need to be of the right height. So here's what I came up with. I use these brackets. Now I don't have these in yellow. They do make them in yellow, and I will likely have to order them in yellow. But for now, tan works fine. We can attach them just like that. And if we do that to all of our windows, we can get all of these to line up in the right orientation. And start to figure out how to connect them. Now there's still going to be some serious work to do here. We have a lot of LDU issues to deal with here. And this, what started as a very simple, let's put different windows on a school bus, quickly turned into a exercise in LDU that has been racking my brain. So we've got that array set up, but now I need to figure out how to attach all these because this is tile and I can't use a 3-long tile. It has to be a 4, otherwise I can attach it down here. And it comes over on the top here, but only by one plate. So I can put a plate up here, but I need to figure out how to attach these all together in this pattern. Let me show you how we're going to do that. I'm actually going to zoom in on the table here a little better. Now for this next portion, I color coordinated this so you could see what part is what. And I'm going to use a few different pieces here. These are more of these tan L brackets. The gray ones have the bracket coming up, not hanging down, so they're the opposite of these. Medium nougat are 1x1 bricks. Olive green are 1 by 2/3 bricks. Dark tan are 1x1 plates. Those pieces together can help me fill this in. Let me show you how we're going to do this. So if we start at one end, I'm going to start at this end. We can take one of these brackets and a 1x1, and we can fill that in here. Now, if I do that for all of these, I'll still have an issue with having a gap for this plate. Sorry if my hands are kind of dirty. I tried to clean them, but I ran a service class tonight, and they didn't come very clean. So now we have to do something here. But if we put a bracket here, we can actually move it over one plate, so it extends over that plate, and then we can fill that in with another 1x1 brick. So those will attach just fine. And we have to continue that pattern to make sure we're filling in for the previous one. So on this one, we're going to put a 1x1 plate, our bracket, and then a 2/3 brick right here. And that will fill in nicely. The next one, we have to do the opposite of that. So we have to go 2/3 brick, bracket, 1x1 plate. And there we go. Now next, we can take a bracket and put it here. But here we're going to do a little bit of a problem because another bracket won't fit. It's going to hit this. So we have to actually flip it. And we're going to put 2 brackets in this section, just like that. There we go. And then this first one, or last one, will be just like the first one. Put our brick in there, and like that. Now, you might be a little confused and say, what the heck am I doing? Picture these all being yellow. It'll look a lot better. Still a lot of little pieces. But what this allows is I can now take a normal, this is 14 studs long, piece, and I can stick all these together in this pattern. Now, I still have to work on the other side, but now everything fits together nicely. And if this was all yellow, it wouldn't look too bad. Now for the other side. One thing that I had to keep in mind is that I need to do these in groups of 5 because 5 plates equals 2 bricks width. So if I put 5 plates in the middle, ignore that one in the end, it doesn't really mean a lot for this part. These 5 in the middle means that this brick to this brick is 2 bricks longer than what I have in here. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, plus 2 is 14, which we see on this side. So that means I can attach these two as long as those middle ones are floating. So let's do that. On the outside ones, we're going to put plate. And on the inside ones, tile. And though it might not be super, super strong, we can take another one of these and put it over the top here. And thus we have created windows with 1 tile in between each. Pretty cool. Now in this exploration, I kind of found that this might be getting too big for my small bus. But I wouldn't mind making it a little bit longer, a little bit taller. But if I go crazy, 6 wide isn't going to work well. It'll have to be 8 or maybe 7, but odd numbers are really hard to work with, as you guys probably know. So then I went down the rabbit hole of making a full-size bus. I looked at some pictures of buses online, and it seems like a full-size bus has 11 windows down the side and then 1 for the driver. So fortunately for me, 11 windows would have 10 posts in the middle of them, which is perfect because just like this one did 5, I could double it. And that's what I did. Check it out. This looks awesome. I'm so excited. It's absolutely huge. It's almost twice the size of this, but it could make for an awesome build. You know, I am working on a giant pencil. a nice big school bus to go with it. Could be pretty cool. So I'm not sure what I want to do. Like I said, this design might work okay for this if it's a smaller school bus. This could integrate, but I'm not sure. This would make an awesome school bus. So I'm not totally sure what I want to do. Now, you may notice in this design, I actually have this upside down. These windows are facing the other way. And so you're probably wondering how the heck I did this and still made them attach. Well, there's a stud reversal. And it's right here and right here. Let me show you how we did this. One of my favorite stud reversals of all time, if not my favorite, is these hinge pieces, because they make a nice seamless flat plate of stud reversal. So I put a 3 tile on one side and attach it to 2 studs there, and I can easily attach to my windows and build the rest off of it. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. It's only attached on the ends. I could put one more of these in the middle point. The middle window, the 6th window, I could also attach with one of these. The reason I haven't, I don't have a lot of these pieces. They're old and they're kind of rare. So I might get 2 more for the other side and maybe 4 more so I could add one in the middle just to add some more rigidity to this. There's not as much wobble there. I could also put something on the back side of this so they don't sway like that. But overall, this is pretty cool. I'm a little concerned how this is going to look when it's all yellow because it's a lot of little pieces making up that top row. But I think it'll look pretty good. Let me know what you think. Should I build a full-size bus? Should I just fix my little one? How should I go about doing this? Well, anyway, I hope you guys liked this video and I hope you found it informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and I'll do my best to answer them. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I do more just like this in the future. That's live for this time, and we will see you next time.